Emily Carter had been eagerly awaiting this evening for weeks. After an 18-month overseas deployment, the 32-year-old Navy SEAL finally had the chance to unwind at her favorite Italian restaurant in downtown San Diego. She exchanged her military uniform for a sleek black dress and comfortable flats, yearning to blend into the civilian crowd and relish a moment of normalcy. The restaurant buzzed with typical Friday night energy. Families filled the larger tables, while couples shared intimate conversations over candlelit meals. Emily chose a corner booth, valuing its strategic view of the entire dining room, a habit from her training that persisted even in peacetime. She had just ordered her favorite dish, chicken parmesan, when she noticed three men at the bar growing increasingly loud and hostile. In their late 20s, they wore expensive suits suggesting successful careers, but their behavior painted a different picture. Empty beer bottles cluttered their section of the bar, and their crude remarks about other patrons echoed across the restaurant. Emily tried to focus on her meal when it arrived, but her training made it impossible to ignore potential threats. The men's inappropriate comments about female diners grew bolder with each drink, and the restaurant staff seemed hesitant to intervene, perhaps intimidated by their aggressive demeanor and polished appearance. 20 minutes into her dinner, Emily watched as the three men approached a young couple at a nearby table. The woman, likely in her early 20s, appeared visibly uncomfortable as one of the men leaned over her chair, making lewd remarks. Her companion, clearly nervous, politely asked them to leave them alone. Instead of backing off, the situation escalated quickly. The largest of the trio, standing over 6 feet tall with broad shoulders, grabbed the young woman's arm and pulled her from her seat. His companions laughed as she struggled to break free, their actions drawing shocked stares from other diners. Emily felt her muscles tense as she assessed the situation. The staff had retreated behind the counter, likely calling for help, but she knew police response could take several minutes. The young woman's terrified eyes met Emily's across the room, pleading for assistance. Without hesitation, Emily stood and walked calmly toward the confrontation. Her years of training had taught her to stay composed under pressure, and she approached with measured steps. The men were so focused on intimidating their victims that they didn't notice her until she was directly behind them. "Excuse me," Emily said in a clear, steady voice that cut through the restaurant's tension. "I think you gentlemen need to step away from the lady and return to your seats." The three men turned, their faces showing surprise and amusement. The ringleader, still gripping the young woman's arm, looked Emily up and down dismissively. Her petite frame, barely 5'4", seemed to amuse them greatly. "Mind your own business, sweetheart," the largest man sneered, tightening his grip. "This doesn't concern you. Go back to your dinner before you get hurt." Emily remained still, her voice unwavering. "I'm asking you nicely to release her and leave these people alone. This is your chance to walk away peacefully." The second man, emboldened by alcohol and his friend's aggression, stepped closer. "Or what? What's a little girl like you going to do about it?" He reached out to push her shoulder, intending to intimidate her. That touch was all Emily needed to justify her response. In her world, unwanted physical contact constituted an assault, and she was trained to defend herself and others accordingly. The men had no idea they'd made a catastrophic mistake. The moment the second man's hand touched Emily's shoulder, 15 years of intensive military training kicked into overdrive. Her body moved with fluid precision, honed through countless hours of hand-to-hand combat in some of the world's most dangerous environments. In one swift motion, She grabbed his wrist, twisted it sharply, and used his momentum to flip him face down onto the floor. The sound of his body hitting the ground echoed through the silent dining room. Stunned by her speed, the ringleader released the young woman and lunged at Emily with both fists raised. Despite his 60-pound and 8-inch height advantage, Emily had trained against larger opponents in far tougher conditions. She sidestepped his clumsy attack using a basic evasion technique mastered during her first year of SEAL training. As he stumbled past, she delivered a precise strike to a pressure point on his neck, causing his legs to buckle. He crashed into an empty table, sending dishes and glasses cascading to the floor. The third man, seeing his friends down, tried to flee toward the entrance. Emily, anticipating this, positioned herself to block his path. When he tried to push past, she used a simple defensive move to redirect his momentum, sending him sprawling across the entryway. The entire confrontation lasted exactly 15 seconds, though to the stunned patrons, it seemed to unfold in slow motion. 3 aggressive men who had been terrorizing diners now lay groaning, incapacitated by a woman who appeared to be enjoying a quiet meal alone. Emily immediately checked on the young couple. The woman was shaking but uninjured, while her companion stared in amazement. Diners began emerging from their shocked silence, some reaching for phones to record the aftermath. "Are you both okay?" Emily asked, her voice calm as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. "Do either of you need medical attention?" The young woman shook her head, still processing. Who are you?" She stammered, looking between Emily and the 3 men who were slowly regaining their composure. Before Emily could respond, the restaurant manager approached cautiously, his face pale with concern. "Miss, thank you for helping, but I need to call the police." "This kind of violence in my establishment," he began, worried about liability. "Please do call them," Emily replied calmly. "These men assaulted patrons and attempted to assault me. I used only necessary force to stop the threat." Her measured response reflected her training in rules of engagement and legal justifications for defensive actions. The largest attacker, nursing a bruised ego more than any serious injury, struggled to his feet and pointed at Emily. "She attacked us. We were just talking to people, and she went crazy." His voice cracked, his bravado gone. Several diners contradicted him. An elderly gentleman stood and addressed the manager firmly. "I saw everything. These 3 thugs were harassing that young lady and her boyfriend. When this brave woman asked them to stop, they tried to intimidate and assault her. She only defended herself after they touched her." A middle-aged woman dining with her family agreed. "My daughter was afraid to go to the bathroom because of these men's behavior. This lady saved the evening for everyone." Other patrons murmured support, creating a clear picture of the events. The 3 attackers exchanged worried glances, realizing their attempt to reframe the situation had failed. Witnesses, some recording videos, confirmed the truth. Within minutes, sirens announced the arrival of 3 police officers. Broken dishes, overturned furniture, and the disheveled men against the wall painted a clear picture. Officer Sofia Lopez, a 15-year veteran of the San Diego Police Department, took charge. Experienced in bar fights and disturbances, she sensed something different here. The calm woman near the corner booth didn't fit the typical profile of a brawl participant. "Can someone explain what happened?" Lopez asked, pulling out her notepad. The largest attacker jumped up, pointing at Emily. "Officer, that woman's dangerous." She attacked us without provocation. We were just having a friendly conversation, and she went berserk. His companions nodded, hoping to avoid responsibility. She knows some kind of martial arts, the second man added, nursing his sore wrist. She could have killed us. We want to press charges. Lopez looked skeptically at them, then at Emily, who remained composed. Ma'am, what's your version of events? Emily stepped forward, speaking evenly. These men were harassing patrons, specifically that young couple, she gestured. They grabbed the woman and refused to release her after being asked to stop. I intervened verbally. When one made physical contact with me without permission, I interpreted it as an assault and used minimal force to neutralize the threat. The manager stepped forward. Officer, those men were drinking heavily and making inappropriate comments to female customers all evening. My staff was preparing to ask them to leave when this escalated. Lopez interviewed witnesses, all corroborating Emily's account. The elderly gentleman provided a detailed description of the men's escalating behavior. They were predators, targeting women dining alone or with companions they could intimidate. This lady showed remarkable restraint. A server revealed the men had made crude remarks to her throughout their meal. The young couple, Lauren and Daniel, described how the largest man's grip left marks on Lauren's arm, and they'd repeatedly asked the men to leave them alone. Lopez noticed Emily's calm demeanor, no adrenaline crash or distress, just steady breathing and precise responses, traits of law enforcement or military personnel. Ma'am, do you have formal self-defense training? Lopez asked, suspecting more than civilian classes. Emily hesitated, then replied, I have some military background. The attacker's story crumbled under witness accounts, security footage, and physical evidence. Lopez's partner reviewed the restaurant's surveillance video, which showed the men's aggression, Lauren being grabbed, Emily's calm intervention, and the moment of physical contact that triggered her response. The high-definition footage was undeniable. Lopez realized this was a textbook case of self-defense. Gentlemen, she addressed the trio sternly, based on witness testimony, footage, and evidence, you're under arrest for assault, battery, and disturbing the peace. Her partners read them their rights while applying handcuffs. The ringleader protested loudly. This is ridiculous. She hurt us. Look at my friend's wrist. It's probably broken. Lopez replied firmly, your friend's injury occurred when he initiated contact. She had every legal right to defend herself. You're fortunate she showed restraint. As the police escorted the men out, curiosity about Emily grew. Her precise techniques and composure suggested elite training. Lopez approached her privately. I've been doing this for 15 years and never seen anyone handle a situation like that. Are you current military? Emily replied carefully. I'm active duty Navy. Lopez nodded with respect. Thank you for your service and for stepping in tonight. The manager, relieved no one was seriously injured, approached Emily. Miss, thank you for what you did. Those men made our customers uncomfortable for hours, and my staff felt helpless. Your dinner's on the house, and you're welcome here any time. Lauren and Daniel, the initial targets, approached with tears of relief. We don't know how to thank you, Lauren said, her voice shaky. When that man grabbed me, I thought the worst might happen. Daniel nodded. The way you handled that was incredible. Are you a martial arts expert? Emily smiled modestly. Just training from my job. I'm glad you're safe. Other diners expressed admiration, an older couple grateful for their grandkids' generation, a business group praising her decisiveness. The restaurant returned to normal, though conversations centered on the incident. Videos were already spreading online. Emily's meal had gone cold, but the kitchen staff prepared a fresh one, refusing payment despite her protests. As she ate, Emily reflected on how quickly a peaceful evening had required her skills. She'd hoped for a break from military life, but her training had protected innocent people, reinforcing her career choice. The incident spread beyond the restaurant. By morning, social media videos of Emily's 15-second takedown went viral, amazing viewers with her calm and skill. Local news station Channel 8 received tips, and reporter Amanda Lee, a military affairs veteran, recognized a bigger story. "This isn't typical training," she told her producer, reviewing the footage. "Her precision and tactical awareness suggest elite combat training." Military blogger Brian Foster, a former Marine, analyzed the video, identifying special operations techniques. "This is Navy SEAL-level training," he wrote, sparking national attention. Emily's commanding officer, Captain Michael Grant, learned of the video during a briefing. While the Navy preferred low profiles, this reflected positively on their training. "Carter," he said Monday, explained this viral video. Emily recounted the incident, emphasizing she acted as a civilian. Grant nodded. "You did everything by the book: minimal force, clear justification, protecting civilians. This shows our training's value." The attackers faced severe consequences. Ethan Brooks, the ringleader, a marketing executive, was suspended after his company learned of his arrest. Nathan Clark lost his law firm job, and Lucas Rivera's financial services career ended due to his firm's zero-tolerance policy. Legal experts noted the airtight case, with footage and witnesses ensuring convictions. All three pleaded guilty to assault and battery, receiving 6 months in jail, probation, and counseling. Emily's identity as a decorated SEAL surfaced via a Freedom of Information Act request by reporter Rachel Bennett, turning the story into a national phenomenon. Her record showed commendations for valor in Afghanistan and Iraq, boosting Navy recruitment, especially among women. Emily shunned fame, issuing a statement, "I protected people being victimized. It's what we're trained for, abroad or at home. I hope others are inspired to help within their capabilities." The restaurant saw a business surge, installing a plaque honoring Emily. The incident sparked discussions on military training, civilian responsibility, and handling harassment. 6 months later, Emily was promoted to Chief Petty Officer, praised for representing Navy values. Lauren and Daniel became bystander intervention advocates, speaking at universities. The restaurant industry adopted better protocols, with Emily's restaurant as a model. Her story inspired scholarships for women in special operations and a documentary, with proceeds aiding veterans and anti-harassment groups. The video became a military training case study, demonstrating responsible use of force. Emily deployed twice more, never seeking recognition, viewing the incident as her duty. Years later, she reflected on how one dinner changed lives, teaching the attackers respect, restoring the couple's faith in help, and inspiring thousands to act against injustice. The restaurant's plaque and booth remain a local legend, proof that heroes emerge unexpectedly and ordinary nights can become extraordinary through courage and training.